before you record.
I just hit record. Go ahead. Doesn't matter what
No,
you
it's
say.
fine.
You did it on
Uh,
purpose.
no, I didn't. Um, I was going to ask you about Garrett's name because the original idea is that this is an alias.
Yep, I
Um,
already remember all that. That'll come up.
okay, just making sure.
Yep. Let's play it through. I think you'll find it highly relevant.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So we are here to do Garrett's one shot in prep for Strixhaven. Let's start by describing a little bit of, and I have a picture here that I found, and I think you and I talked about this a long time ago. I just thought it was a cool picture that really captured a lot of the elements. But how would you describe Garrett in general?
Garrett is a halfling. I had it up, but I had to restart, so now I lost it. Probably teenage, young adult age, like peach fuzz, barely grown some facial hair, just starting to, um, still could really kind of pass as like a young child and a small child, but is starting to grow up a little bit. Really just neutral features, dark hair, bluish greenish eyes. Pretty unassuming person.
Okay. So we know that Garrett grew up with a man named Mikas. And I actually have a picture I found. I can't remember if I think you helped me refine this here. Sorry, let me
Correct.
pull up that slide here. Kind of, I don't even have a last name for him. Is it Gammidge, or is that Garrett's somehow name?
Uh, no, it's just Mikas is
It's like a little moniker. All right,
correct.
tell me about Mikas,
Fair.
and what it would have been like to grow up with him.
Mikas is a known grifter, who pretty much travels from town to town. Very Music Man esque, charming. Comes into town, new identity, new alias. Every town he goes to, um, very charming, very approachable, and the town just really takes to him, assuming they've never heard of him before. Sometimes he goes into towns and gets run off because they're like, "Hey, I know
Hmm.
you. We've heard about you." But then just moves on to the next town. Um, but at just baseline, very you'd think, man, I could be best friends with this guy. Like we could go have a beer together. I'll tell him all my secrets and invite him over to dinner, which is exactly what he's hoping to happen with all of his encounters in this town. So I would say from Garrett's standpoint, growing up with Mikas was very kind of hot and cold in the sense
Yep.
where when you're with him around others, he's laughing and joking and engaging in conversation and super likable. But the second he gets away from that, he completely flips a switch and is very demanding and very bossy
Hmm.
and
I'm getting kind of
very
a Oliver Twist kind of situation. Yeah, right.
exactly.
So
Yep.
like Garrett's a means to an end. All right. Well, let's start our story with Mikas and Garrett in a medium-sized city somewhere in the world. I'm going to leave it nameless because I think that's probably how it's going to feel to Mikas and Garrett. It's kind of not home. It's the next stop. And they found a little storefront where they can set up shop. And you've been here for 3 or 4 weeks now. Con is in full swing. What is the con for this particular town?
Um, I think that Mikas tends to just go to a town not really knowing what to expect when he gets there, and just trying to see who are, and like he's very good at reading people, like who's in charge, who are the rich people, who are the maybe lower socioeconomic people, who's in the middle, and tries to like just get to know people to see like, okay, what's the buzz in town? Is this
Mm-hmm.
town famous for something? Maybe they have a very rare artifact that is known for their town and their culture and things like that, or they have this um, huge library with a bunch of valuable scrolls that tell a lot of interesting ways of magic and things like that. So most of the time, I feel like for Mikas, is very much like valuables of
Okay.
how can I get money, how can I get pieces of jewelry or treasures or things like that. So this town he's in, it all starts with trying to just get pocket change from people.
Okay.
Hey, invest in my uh, whatever I'm selling, and then as he starts to meet people and maybe he recognizes like, oh, this person in town maybe is wealthier than originally discussed. I'm gonna kind of glob on them, only to realize that they have a rare artifact in their home that I am interested in.
Very good. So, for the sake of creativity, let's say that your con this time around is glasses, is eyewear for people. And not just eyewear, but promoting that eyewear is sexy. And this idea of fashionable eyewear, it's all the rage. And we're trying to convince people probably that don't even need it, that you have it. You and Mikas has just had this habit of collecting things, and glasses happens to be something he just has found. Everywhere that you've been, he's just kind of thrown stuff he's found left on the sidewalk or on a table in a tavern or stuff like that. He just has this random assortment, but today he's cleaning it up. And this is what you're trying to sell to people. The hope is that you can get the mayor in here, because if you can do the mayor a favor, chances are you can get access to some bigger funds. Sound good?
Perfect.
As you've been in this city, as a couple weeks have passed, Mikas has found a partner. And this individual has come with some very interesting skills. You have come to know him as the only name he's going on with this single named theme here. This is Sirs. And Sirs is a changeling, which means he has the at-will ability to alter his appearance as long as it mostly resembles his height, weight, skeletal structure. He can turn himself into anybody that he's seen before and has some creative license beyond there. Sirs, not really sure where he came from, but you've kind of gotten the habit of not really asking because you don't want to be asked kind of where you've come from. Sirs, though, has been let into the inner circle and is actively working alongside you and Mikas to drum up business. And not only that, but Sirs knows why, and he expects to be handsomely paid for participating in this crime. It's late afternoon, and you three are in the shop. Business hasn't been super busy today. Mikas is behind the counter, kind of polishing a couple of spectacles. Sir's there, and you see him in the human form you see here, completely white. This shows like he has completely white eyes. He does have light-colored eyes, more like a husky, like that icy blue kind of irises. He's dressed in a dress, though, because the con this morning was for him to be some kind of damsel in distress that would lure someone in, and he's just kind of preparing for the next mark. All of you have kind of been on break. What is Garrett doing right now?
I see Garrett as being still very timid and not wanting to rock the boat, not wanting to make Mikas angry or go off the edge. But also, he's never really worked with. He's always been like Mikas's right hand man, and so is not really liking the fact that there's this other person here who's maybe taking away Mikas's interest in using Garrett for these cons and pretty much diminishing his role. So I see Garrett trying to maybe work a little bit harder to get Mikas's attention and say like come up with ideas and plans and while pretty much like poo-pooing sirs of like no, that's dumb. Why would we do that? That would never work. Like that's no. But that's not how we do things. Okay.
I'm just saying, let's start in roleplay here. Sirs looks at you. In his hand, he has this mechanical spider that he kind of always has with him. And he's just letting it kind of crawl all over his hands. Very cool as a cucumber, resting on the kind of countertop. And he looks at you and he's like, I'm just saying, I think that children are really the way to go. Everyone's going to want glasses for their poor little kids. I don't know why you have such a aversion to that. I mean, Mika, surely people would be willing to pay anything for children to have their good eyesight.
Mikas knows what the plan is. We've already got our plan in motion. It's too late. It's too late to change things, Mikas. Like, come on, what?
Well, that's where you're wrong, because there's always a chance to change things. We haven't had but 2 customers here all day today. I don't know what you lot are up to, but you've got to go find me some business. We are going to fall apart here, and we are never going to meet our favorite individual in town unless you two bring some business in. So whether it's kids or whether it's not, it's time for you two to make up and get to work. Now finish polishing that.
Okay. You're right. Yeah. I'll get out there. Trust me. I'll get out there. I'll bring the people in. I'll make sure the mayor knows that he needs to come see us. Okay. I'll do that.
Sirs kind of chuckles. He's like, "Oh, is this how you do it these days? You just walk straight up. Is there no plan in place? You're just going to approach him, just the mayor directly, Mikas. No wonder you keep getting run out of town. These are ridiculous."
Hey, we've done this before. I've got lots of experience in this. I've been with Mikas my entire life. I know how to do these things. When you got someone who's as experienced as me and just knows how to do this stuff, Mikas is the plan maker. I'm the doer. That's how it works.
Yeah, well, you haven't been doing much today, have you? We've got glasses to sell. We've got to build a reputation in this town, and I don't care where it comes from. But he's right. Don't just go waltzing up to him. That's not how we do things. We finesse our way in. We don't go directly to the source. We got to go around the source. Go find somebody he loves. He's got that pretty little girl. Like, let's see if we can bring her in here. You know what? She's got to be only, 5 or 6 years old? So it's like, told you. Just kind of letting the spider kind of, it's as big as his hand, just kind of crawling over around.
Garrett's just trying to like keep just the rage inside, but like not let it out to like disappoint Mikas and be like, you're totally right. You're totally right, boss. That's a great plan. I'll totally I'll see what I can do. I'll do some kind of recon work and I'll get back to you on that, okay?
Yeah, you go do that, don't you? Why don't you just go off on your little way and see what you can drum up yourself. Off with you now.
He finishes polishing, sets the glasses down, and kind of storms off.
Right as he gets to the door of the shop to go out to the street, you see a human body materialize right in front of the door, only it's parallel to the ground, about 4 feet up. It appears and then boom, falls to the ground right in front of you. It's outside the door, so you saw it kind of through the window, but you saw it and you saw it thunk. Doesn't look like Mikas and Sirs noticed.
Like it fell from a window, or
Like it teleported right there and then fell to the ground.
Garrett's gonna just and it's right in front of me.
Well, it's just on the other side of the door, so you'd have to open the door to see what you see.
Gotcha. So yeah, definitely open the door. And
okay, when you open the door, you see an 18, 19-year-old boy, and he is not wounded, but the wind knocked out of him. He has got really shaggy brown hair, oak-colored hair. He's wrapped in very, very rough-looking clothes that are covered in dust and dirt. His hands and his face have kind of a dark gray, ashy, kind of fire ash all over him. His clothes are torn, holes everywhere, holes in his shoes, and he is just kind of on the ground, hasn't picked himself up yet. This is what you see, and he's just like, oh, that hurt.
Well, are you okay? What happened? What?
He looks up. He looks up, and his eyes get large in fear, and he's like, "Who are you? Where am I?" He kind of backs himself up to the edge, on his butt, knees pulled in. He's like, I'm not here to hurt anybody. I don't want any trouble.
Hey! I'm not here to hurt anybody either. You just popped up right outside this door, and it looks like you fell. Are you hurt or?
I'm fine.
Okay?
I'm fine. Where am I? Where is this? You see him for the first time, squint in the sunlight. It's not that bright out, but I mean, squinting as if he has not seen daylight in a while. Where am I? Where is this place?
We're in the middle of insert town/region.
I mean, where's that?
Where are you from? Are you not from around here?
Oh my god, she was right. She really did it.
Well,
oh my god.
Who did what? Who did what?
She said she could get me out. Nobody gets out. She said she could do it. Oh my god.
Get out of where? Were you being held captive? What?
He starts to look around like as if anybody's like, Ma, Pa, you there? Hey, anybody?
Hold on. Let's not draw too much attention here. It seems like you don't know anyone in this town. We're kind of new to this town too. How about let me help you out here for a second, okay?
Okay.
Just try to help me understand what's going on here.
Okay. My name's Jordy. And I'm not supposed to be here. Oh my god, if he knows I'm gone. Oh my god. So listen, this is going to sound crazy. I don't know if you'll believe me or not, but my family and I we're prisoners. We're slaves of a great demon lord up in the northwest of the country, and we have to work for him in his mind to get the stuff that he wants, but it's all I've ever known, but we are not allowed to leave. Nobody's allowed to leave. As a matter of fact, even if we tried to, I just know old Fesner tried to get out, and as soon as he hit that bear, he just poof, he's gone. And so we know not to go there, but this old vulture woman, she wasn't, I don't know, she was like a vulture, but she's huge. She somehow got in. Nobody gets in to to the Lord's place, and she came and she told me that I was being recruited to go to this magic school in Strixhaven or something, and she said that all my expenses were going to get paid, and I told her, I was like, lady, you don't know, nobody's allowed to get out of here. We are enslaved to the Lord himself. And she just told me that if I really wanted to get out, that she could make it happen. And I just laughed at her. I said, well, sure, you want to get me out, you go right ahead. And then all of a sudden, I was laying here right outside your door. And,
is Strixhaven a school here?
I don't know. She says it's a place I can learn magic.
Are you magical?
I mean, I don't tell anybody that, but like I can, do a few things and make a few fires and and you'll find a few things, but the Lord can never know. He can never know.
Wait. Can you control your magic, or does it just happen?
I mean, I kind of have to practice and quiet, but I mean, I've done a couple things. I mean, nothing that you'd write home about. I always thought they were kind of accidents. Like, I only got a couple of things. I mean, really, like, I can do some. No, I'm not very good at it. It's just started manifesting last year or so, and I don't get to really play around with it much. But I don't know. This lady seemed to think that I had something special, and I don't know what is about to happen. But I sure hope that she is not disappointed. Oh my God! What about my family? What is he gonna do to them when nobody knows what happened?
Why don't you come inside, Jordy? Let me help you. I have some friends inside that I think can help.
Oh, okay. Okay. What was your name?
Oh, my name's Garrett.
Well, Garrett, it's so nice to meet you. Thank you. You're very kind. He goes to stand up, and like his legs just buckle beneath him. And the more you look at him, like he's gaunt, like he is very malnourished, probably dehydrated, and some kind of like teleportation magic is. I mean, you've done it a few times on accident. It is disorienting. And he just kind of like tries to stand up again and kind of holds the edge of the building to try and stand up. But he's eventually able to kind of walk on his own into the shop.
Why don't you rest here? I'm gonna go grab my friend. I think he can help you out.
Oh, just so you want him to sit down outside? Okay.
I want him to is there like a foyer area? I don't want him to just like come straight into the room.
I'm in my mind, I'm envisioning something very small because you don't, have a lot to work with. And so this is probably a single room, maybe a back like storage kind of area, but really small, kind of shop only. If you want him to go in, now that you know that, you can decide if you want to invite him in or not.
Okay. I'll have him just like hang outside the door then, and I'm just gonna go. Garrett's excited at the opportunity of maybe getting back on Mikas good terms and maybe bringing him some good news, and he runs back. He's like, Mikas, guess what? This kid he just appeared out of nowhere, and he's saying that he's from this prison where some magic lady showed up and sent him here, and he's supposed to go to this magic school so he can learn how to control his magic. He can control his magic. I could control my magic.
Sirs is standing there. He looks up and whoosh, immediately becomes this kind of beautiful, like Pollyanna style girl. He's like, "What is it? Is it truly that hard to control magic?" And Mikas looks at you. He's like, "What are you on about? Prison magic lady? You learned all that from walking out the front door."
Come see him. I'll bring him in. He's just a kid. He's confused. He doesn't know where he is. He's saying there's a school nearby, a magical school. Maybe they could help me. Maybe that's where we could do our next con. Maybe there's so many opportunities, Mikas.
Make a persuasion check.
He's just Garrett's just grasping for anything to for Mikas to be happy with him. Um, Persuasion. 24.
24. Mikas is like, all right, like, this better be good. And he follows you out the door, kind of looks around like, what are you talking about?
Is the kid gone?
No, he's there. He's just on the ground, like, still huddled up. Like, you can tell him still trying to control his breathing, just like right where you left him.
Jordy, here. And Garrett gets down and kneels and helps him up and
helps
says,
him up.
"Jordy,
His head immediately, like, in submission, like, tries to make himself look very small, head down. Not if this is an authority figure, you just get the sense that he's like told, like, clearly trained to get in line, stay in line, don't question, that kind of deal.
Jordy, this is my my dad, George."
How do you do, sir? It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. Mikas looks like, are you dirty? Well, you are filthy, son. What are you doing leaning against my shop?
It's okay. He was in prison, and tell him, Jordy. Tell him what happened.
Jordy looks at you, terrified. Almost, you kind of get the sense that he's like, oh my god, like, I just told my whole, like, all of my secrets, and now, oh my god, what is happening? He's like, I'm sorry, I'm a long way from home, sir, and I don't mean to be in imposition. I apologize about your shop. I'm happy to clean that. I don't have anything with me, but I'm happy if you have a rag or something. I'm happy to clean that up. I mean, no disrespect at all to your beautiful shop. You just let me know. I'm a good worker, I promise.
And Garrett turns to Mikas and's like,
Mikas looks down at, like, are you kidding me? Like, that kind of look. Like, what is all of this? And he looks down, he looks back at this kid, and he's like, you two clean that up. And he turns back around and walks inside. And Jordy looks at you and is like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean anything by it. I hope that I haven't gotten you in trouble. I'm so sorry.
Garrett's just like, it's fine. Here, let me help you clean up. And takes a rag out of his back pocket and starts kind of like cleaning the dirt off of his face and wiping his hands and just like, God damn it.
As you two are cleaning the side of a building, you spot out of the corner of your eye an individual that nobody could miss. I mean, in a town that is very Little House on the Prairie-ish kind of feel, you know, it's got some upscale stuff. You know, there's a mayor, but like, there's some shops and there's some carriages around. There's definitely some. This individual is totally sore thumb. He is a human-sized male. He is dressed in turquoise and gold, kind of a trench coat, gold buttons. He's got kind of fingerless gloves on with his fingernails painted black. He's got a top hat on that is this olive green with peacock feathers coming out of it. And he has this, I mean, so much hair. Like, all the way down past his waist in just waves, cascades of turquoise blue hair. And he comes waltzing up to you with this kind of drag queenish kind of saunter, and is just like got this one hand up and is just walking, kind of taking in, like clearly looking at the shops, kind of stops at one point and like puts a monocle on, which is meant to look at things close up, and yet he's like looking around, but eventually he sees the two of you and he comes up, and he says, oh my god, look at the two of you. You're just absolutely adorable. And he looks at you in particular. He gives you a very long look not almost in a way that might make you uncomfortable. And make an insight check for me.
Okay. 11.
11. Something about the way he's looking at you is, I don't know, like, he didn't look at Jordy that way. He hasn't looked at anyone else that way. He's looking at you. And he's like, oh, it has just been too long. And look at how tall you've gotten. Oh, what a happy day. Pardon me. And he shrinks physically down magically to mimic your height. Only his hair doesn't shrink down quite as much. And so it's like on the ground, kind of pulled aside to him. And he's looking you straight in the eye. And with his kind of one like black, his hand with like black fingernail polish on, he's like, it's about time that we met. I'm just so proud of you. Look at you hitting the big city, seeing new sights. I've just been so excited to see where you've become. All I do have to say, you have definitely kept your radius a little bit smaller than I would have hoped. But surely we can fix that.
I'm sorry. Do we know each other?
Well, does anyone really know each other? Gal, please to meet you. Kind of holds out this weird kind of handshake to you. And he looks up at Jordy, who's now much taller than the both of you. And he kind of swings back, goes back up to his human height, pulls out this monocle again, and he looks really closely and he says, "Do I know you? You look so familiar. Have I bought cabbages from you before? Is that where I know you?" And Jordy's just like, No, sir. It's like, sure, no. You sold me a horse, didn't you? Oh, or were you the ones who I had a three-way with your parents? Was that you? Oh, never mind. It'll come to me. I know you from somewhere. I know you. Well, come in. Show me what you've been up to these days. He grabs both of your hands and kind of against your will, leads you into the shop where Mikas and the girl, disguised Sirs is there. And he kind of, entrance like you cannot imagine into the shop. And he goes, go ahead.
I was going to say, Garrett's panic quickly being like, uh-oh, don't walk in too fast so he's going to yell, we have company!
Mikas, who is now seeing a customer that clearly has some means, turns on the charm. Well, hello, welcome to George's Glasses and Lenses. Welcome to our fine establishment. Surely today you have come in looking for something to make you even more attractive and intelligent. What can I help you with today? Gal looks around, and he has looked everywhere but the actual eyeglasses. And he's like, yes, yep. This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect. And darling, he looks over at Sirs. He's like, blonde, really? Surely that you are more of a platinum, might I say? And it's like, and Sirs as a girl form, kind of a little taken aback by that and be like, oh, sir, I don't know what you mean. I mean, I could definitely go lighter, but maybe, sir, just your eyesight is failing. Maybe you've come to the right place. And he goes, you are not a blonde. Nope. You need much shorter and much whiter and much more male, aren't you? Did I figure it out? I did, didn't I? He looks for your approval. You'd be like, I was right, didn't I?
Wait, is Gal still holding us, or did
No, I'd say probably they dropped your hands at this point.
Garrett's gonna just look like, sir, I mean, ma'am, I mean, sir, and just like stutter himself.
I was right. I'm always right. I'm always right. Now, dear sir, I am afraid that I am going to need your dear Garrett for the afternoon. Yes, I think it's time that he and I took a little bit of a walk. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And Mikas is like...
Garrett looks at Mikas like,
Mikas looks, he's like, well, I'm... I pay him to work in my shop. I can't be down an employee. Are you here to buy some glasses? Sir, I'd be happy to help you. He's like, oh, Mikas, you were just so easily motivated by the wrong things. Here you go. And he drops 100 gold on the counter, which is a lot of money. And he says, we'll be back before you know it. And he turns around. He shrinks down to like halfling level again. Like his physical body shrinks down. And he kind of grabs you in the crook of your arm. And he whispers into your ear. He's like, Lightfoot, it's time that we went on an adventure. And he starts to step... Yep, he starts to walk out of the store and is pulling you along. And unless you really resist, he's taking you with him.
Garrett is too just dumbfounded as to what's going on. He's never seen that much money dropped all at once. He's never seen someone just like completely like pretty much own Mikas and Sirs in a conversation and just like call them out on everything that quickly. Is just like, who is this person? And is looking back at Mikas like as he's being drug out.
Mikas is like not even watching. Like he's counting the money on there. He's like, see you in a couple hours. Like, man, earned your keep today. That kind of attitude. Yep. As you walk out, and again, this mane of turquoise hair is just following you as it hasn't shrunk to match his frame. And he's like, where should we go today? Where should we go? You know what? I think it's time for tea. What do you think? Is it time for tea? It's time for tea, isn't it?
Sure. Yeah, I think I could use some some tea.
Garrett, Lightfoot, if you're going to travel the multiverse, you've got to be more decisive. Let's go. He plucks out a peacock feather from his hat, like spins it like a disc golf disc out off it. Flies into the middle of the road and turns into this swirling emerald green pool. And Gal just begins like trucking it, and you see this like wave of hair, almost like waves of the ocean fall behind him. He's like, let's go! And drags you by the hand and dives into the pool with you behind him if you let him.
Yeah, I mean, Garrett is just like each step of the way, like, now you know Mikas' name, you called out Sirs for being a changeling, now you know my name, I have no idea what's happening.
Very good.
Is Jordy with us still?
Mm-mm. Jordy was left at the shop.
Okay.
As you two enter this pool, it's almost like you're jumping in water and out of water at the same time. And you realize that this has basically been a portal that you've jumped through. And where you expected to come out kind of soaking wet, you've come out the other side. Gal landed gracefully on the shore, back to their normal height. You are caught in the middle of a pond of water that is shimmering like chrome, this like highly reflective silvery pond. And Gal is kind of brushing him off. He kind of, he has a cane in his hand, and he's just looking around. If you would like to do a perception check, you can, and tell me if you're going to get out of the water or not.
I'm picturing Garrett not being a confident swimmer, so I imagine he will frantically get out of the water. Yes, I will roll for perception. 14.
This place is vibrantly colorful. And I mean trees that have purple and pink, large purple and pink lichen on them, mushrooms that are oversized that are kind of going in, like cycling through a rainbow of colors. You see a flock of birds fly overhead that are not normal birds. They have wings, but they also seem to have frog's feet, and they're just really kind of oddly shaped. You see flowers that, out of the corner of your eye, they looked like they were talking to each other. And then when you kind of look to focus on them, it's like Toy Story, like they froze. And as you climb out, you stand next to Gal, taking in just this sight. The sky is kind of in a sunset kind of coloring, so pinks and oranges kind of litter the sky above you. What would you like to do?
Garrett's just going to take in everything that is new and still just like, almost like just like paralyzed from just like everything that's going on and the confusion and where am I, who's this person, but then finally just like muster up the courage to speak and be like, where are we?
Oh, is this your first time to the Feywild? Oh, what a joy! What I wouldn't give to have my first experience back in the Feywild. Oh, this must be so special for you. I'm so happy.
What is the Feywild? Would Garrett know would I know what the Feywild is?
Roll an Arcana check.
16.
Oh yeah. So easily. The Feywild is, for the normal populace, is one of those things that like you just kind of accept is there. Kind of like if you grew up in America your whole life, you just accept that France is a place and there's people there, but like it's just irrelevant to you. But the fact that it's kind of like something that like high level magicians know about, you know. I think the one thing you probably have never asked, but changelings are from the Feywild, and so Sirs might have some knowledge of it, but you probably haven't talked about that at this point.
Okay, gotcha. So wait, this is the Feywild? What?
Well, yes. Oh, my dear sweet Lightfoot. Yes, the Feywild, it's one of my favorite places for tea. I mean, where else can you get tea that just makes you feel just young and sunny and like a bubble, you know? Like, oh, it's just got some of the best. Oh, well, and he kind of prestidigitates a pocket watch that has no hands on it, and he's like, well, I think our guests will be waiting for us. Come with me. And he begins...
Yes, and no, I picture that as a weight as he's being still just drugged along. Like, okay.
He polymorphs you both into rabbits, but big ones, like ones to match your size. Except his hair and top hat are still on him, and he just starts bounding off into the forest in some direction.
Okay.
Do you want to match him?
Yeah. Wait, I'm a rabbit though, right?
Mm-hmm.
So can I talk to him? Can I?
You're a rabbit. You can think right. You just can't. Right?
Okay. It's gonna take. I'm gonna definitely fall behind.
Okay.
In the sense of like what just happened to my body. Like I'm trying to like speak to him, but like nothing's coming out, and I can't hear myself talk now. And then recognize that like almost like a look at my furry paws, like, and just be like, gosh damn it. And then probably see Gal up ahead, like turn around and be like, oh, come on, like let's go.
Come on, we're late. And he can talk as a rabbit and is still holding a pocket watch. He's like, come on, the tea's going to get cold. Come on, you must come. Just come.
Yeah, so I follow.
As you hop, it's like your speed doesn't make sense. Like
right.
You go the same pace, but like in some sense you're going so fast and then others you're going so slow and it just doesn't seem to make sense. It kind of starts to become like the Star Wars Millennium Falcon, like hyperspace, where things just start kind of zooming past you, and then all of a sudden you stop and you become your halfling self again, and you see Gal standing next to you, and he, like, the pocket watch just disappears, and before you is total Alice in Wonderland, long table in the middle of the woods, this beautiful clearing that's kind of got fireflies lighting it up, and there is place settings for 30 people to have tea, and you see 3 figures at the very far end of the table that are looking at one another.
This is where Garrett, I think, is finally going to muster up the courage to be like, stop. Okay. And then just like, almost like, I said all that stuff without actually preparing what I was going to say next, but just like, I needed to like, finally just say like, stop. What? Who? How do you know my name? Who are you?
Who are you?
I'm, and he tries to like put on his persona again. I'm Garrett Gammidge.
No, you're not. And like taps you on the nose like 3 times. He's like, come, let's discuss over tea. And like waltzes away from you towards the other end of the table.
Garrett just shrugs again. It's like, ah, damn it, I tried. And then slowly follows.
At the end of the table, you see 3 very interesting looking individuals. You see a child, 4 years old, if a day, with this mop of pink hair nestled under this floppy wizard's hat that's far too big for it. It's blue. It has stars posted all over it, weird-shaped flowers. It has a traveling cloak on that is covered every square inch with flair. I mean, buttons, patches, bells, feathers, baubles, trinkets, wind chime, like everything you can name, like from its neck all the way down. Holding this like tape wrapped staff that looks like a shepherd's crook in his hands, and he's sitting. He's too small for the chair itself. Taking kind of 2 hands to get a cup of tea, sipping on it very ably for his age, and puts it back down. The second figure that you see is a yellow, very, as we would talk about it, alien looking. So like plasticky yellow skin, pointed ears. His eyes are complete. He has no whites in his eyes. They're just dark black irises. Very angular, skeletal kind of features. This mohawk of jet black hair. Got kind of a mixture of kind of black and brown, kind of warrior's cloaks on, and a giant hawk that's sitting on his shoulder. And then the third figure is almost so outrageous, I don't know how Garrett would even process it in his mind. It is the face of an infant child, human infant child, that is sitting on top of a spinal column, and there are tentacles coming out everywhere.
Okay.
I will show you what I mean. God. Here are the 3 figures that you see at the end of the table.
Oh, this is nightmarish. Garrett is not liking what he sees at the end of this table, and is, as he approaches, following Gal, just like dead stop of like, whoa. I swear, I didn't steal those things. I promise you, it wasn't my idea. It wasn't my idea. It wasn't me. I swear.
The little pink-haired child goes, "No, it was Mikas's idea."
Yeah, it was. You're sorry. Who are you?
Oh, I'm Akim Menexes. I'm professor of wild magic at Strixhaven University.
Wait, is that I've heard that before. Is that that's the magic school, right?
The alien-looking guy looks at you and he nods. And he's like, "You are quite perceptive. Not many in your world know of this place. It is bravo on you. Tell me, what do you know about Strixhaven University?"
I literally just heard about it today. There was a kid. I was going out of the shop and I heard this thud and I opened the door and there's a kid on the ground and he's disheveled and he's dirty and he's panicked and he doesn't know where he is. And he said someone showed up and got him out of this prison and is sending him to this magic school called Strixhaven or Strix whatever.
The horrific-looking baby-faced tentacled thing doesn't speak in return. You actually see this minor illusion of this scroll, kind of like Marauder's map style from Harry Potter, and it just says Strixhaven. He spells it correctly for you, long enough for you to read it, and then it disappears, and then another ribbon of comes out, and it says, "I certainly hope he's okay," is what it says in a script you can read.
Gotcha. Why are you here? Why am I here?
Well, it's time for tea, dear. Come on, surely you didn't think that we were going to drink that bile from the material plane. Please. And you start to see, Beauty and the Beast style, like all the stuff starts like preparing tea. A chair comes and like kind of ambles over to you and like leans down for you to jump in it. But like tea and like lumps of sugar and like all these beautiful little pastries kind of all float around. The alien dude looks at you kind of kindly and says, "It's your first time. It's okay. It's just tea. We promise."
Garrett just like does like a long exhale and just reluctantly grabs the tea and kind of brings it up to his mouth, but was like looking to see their reactions and probably noticing.
They're all staring at you. Even the hawk. Even the hawk.
And then just like awkwardly just
What would be an amazing... It's not even a taste. What would be one of Garrett's happiest memories?
probably
It doesn't even need to be a significant life moment, but like a Christmas morning or a birthday. Like, what would be just a happy moment for Garrett?
maybe like a fresh snowfall and in one of his favorite towns that he visited that had just like beautiful pine trees and just like the smell of the pine and the wild sage and the fresh snowfall, if that could be personified into a taste.
As you taste that, kind of close your eyes, you open up, and snowfall has been snowing over the table and everyone there. And you can't tell if like it's the scent of the tea that's the pine, but Gal is just like, "Oh, that's fresh. Oh, that's so fresh. Oh, Lightfoot, what a pleasure that truly was."
How do you know my name?
Oh,
I
Lightfoot, I've
no,
known
no
your
one knows.
name. I've known your name since the moment that you were born. It's been truly, I'm sorry. I travel all the time. You can't possibly understand all the places that there are to go, but I want you to know that I've never lost track of you. How could I? Now,
this?
speaking of losing track of people, has anyone seen Kalnan Singhors lately? And Grimiak, who's the alien-looking dude, looks up and he's like, "Gal, surely introductions are in order." And he's like, "Oh, you're absolutely right. Where are my manners? Lightfoot, let me introduce you to the professors of Strixhaven University. This is Professor Grimiak Trisal-Eldan. He is a professor of primarily the planes of existence. He and I travel together quite a bit. He is, you notice for the first time that out of his back is this kind of silvery mist that's coming kind of from his shoulders and his hips, and almost like a funnel, and then it kind of ribbons off and just kind of disappears. This kind of tether that he has, almost like if he was wearing a parachute, except like the strings got cut off, but it's just kind of floating there. And he nods to you. He's like, and let me introduce Professor Arkin Menexes. He has been so many ages and so many things and knows how to do so much and doesn't know how to do so much. Isn't that right, Arkin? He's like, I haven't been for very long, but, I think that it gives me a lot more time to work on some things. And takes another sip. It kind of dribbles down, and he's just kind of like in his it's like all of his like gross motor skills are 4 years old, and he just like is trying to pat him dry. And he says, and last but certainly not least or most grotesque is Professor Rizix from the far outer planes. He is truly a gift to the university, given that he doesn't really have any counterparts here in the normal planes. He has taught us quite a bit about what is going on beyond where we've been to date.
Oh, what do you teach, Professor
Rizix?
Yeah.
You see this kind of the minor illusion of this script. He says basically the mysteries of the outer planes of existence.
Okay.
Gal goes, right. Introductions now done. Has anyone seen Kalnin recently? I have lost him somewhere. Grimiak speaks up and he's like, I lost him in the Beastlands, but I believe that he has moved on. But I myself have to admit I have not seen him quite recently. And Gal's response is like, these archaics, they just think they can go well, I guess they can go anywhere just like most of us. So good on him. It wouldn't be terrible if we could find him along the way. What do you say, Lightfoot? Should we go find Kalnin?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, of course you're not. Of course you're not. He's lovely. He's lovely. I mean, speaking of which, I have a question for the group. Do robots enjoy watermelon? Discuss.
Garrett just sits back and's like, I don't know what you're talking about. What robots?
Yes, do they enjoy watermelon? That's a fair question.
What a robot is?
I am using that word because I wanted to say automaton, and I wanted that to be clear. So let's say automaton, but basically a mechanical creature.
Okay. But Garrett would know that mechanical creatures are a thing.
I mean, it's outrageous. That's, again, what the, magic users use. It is not common in normal society to encounter one.
Garrett's just like, yeah. Uh-huh. I'm sure they would. I like watermelon. Who wouldn't like watermelon?
Arkin looks at you, the little kid. He's like, I agree. I don't think that you have to have a soul to enjoy the simple pleasures in life. And Grimiak goes, but what is the nature of enjoyment? I mean, isn't there truly a sense of preference? And surely that can be programmed into some level, but at the end of the day, someone told you what you liked or not. Rizix, the kind of the ribbon font, that he punches up, he says, I'm inclined to agree. I think that true enjoyment necessitates a sense of autonomous sentience.
Okay.
And Gal's like, wow, split right down the middle. What do you think? I mean, what an interesting idea. Could they enjoy watermelon of their own regard. I think that will be one of the big questions that we pose in this next evolution that we have. Wouldn't you say, Lightfoot?
Garrett raises his hands and it's like, "Excuse me, do I don't know about watermelon, but do do you know who my parents are? Do do any of you know my parents?"
The three professors are like, no. And Gal looks at you. And for the first time, you see kind of past this zany exterior into just there's a look in his eyes of sentimentality that is more human and sane than whatever this is that you're seeing. And you actually see him almost get a little misty-eyed before he kind of clears his throat. And he's like, you know what? We're late. We're late for a meeting with Jadzi. We need to go now. And Rizix is there, and he says that the script comes up, and he's like, "Pardon me, Gal, but I think you should know." And all of a sudden, his tentacles extend to the other end of the table and clasp onto some invisible form, and almost like elastic, fling it back. And a body falls face plants on the table in front of you and loses its invisibility, and it is Sirs.
Oh, like Sirs as I know Sirs, or like
Yep,
the change.
white hair, light eyes, in his normal form.
Garrett's just gonna try to like man up a little bit and be like, "Sirs, hello."
Well, followed us, did you? Look at you taking advantage of the situation. He kind of looks at you like decisive. He's like, so, you interested to weigh in on our little philosophical discussion, are you? And Sirs looks at you like, what the hell is going on right now? Kind of like...
I think Garrett is a little excited that Sirs looks like this because Garrett's never seen Sirs like this and is gonna try to like really jump on the opportunity of like, oh haha, like you're the one who's caught off guard, like, and he's gonna just kind of sit up tall in his chair and be like, these are my friends, Sirs. What brings you here?
You don't have friends. What are you talking about? This can't possibly be. What the fuck is that? Looking over at Rizix, who just, again, the baby face has almost no emotions to speak of, right? And it's kind of eyes blink independently of each other. Like, it is very unsettling.
Garrett's gonna be like, "Oh, Professor Rizix, yes. You don't know Professor? My apologies. Everyone, this is Sirs. He assists us in town when we need him to."
You bloody wanker. Like, yes, hello. Truly nice to meet all of you. Apologies for I did not want to interrupt what clearly was a very important conversation, but I certainly didn't mean to intrude. It looks like you were having a lovely tea together, and I apologize that my violent entrance somehow has upset things. You see the pottery, or all of the crockeries kind of go back into place, like cleaning all itself up. And Gal looks and he's like, "Oh, sweetheart, you're adorable, and you just try so hard, and I'm sure that will pay off for you in the future. You though," and he points back at you. He's like, "We're late. Come with me. Please make sure that our new friend makes it back home to where he belongs. I promised that I would have this young gentleman home before evening, and we still have many places to go." He reaches out his hands to you.
Garrett is just loving the fact that Sirs is seeing this and is really going to take advantage of and really put on the face of "I'm not nervous. I belong here. These are my friends," and just confidently grab Gal's hand and walk away.
Okay. You see, I mean, Sirs is covered in food, stains all over his place, icing smudged on his face. And he looks at you. Make a perception check for me.
Okay. Ooh, not good. 6.
Okay, don't worry about it. All right. So as and Gal is walking with intention to where he's going. He's like, Lightfoot. Once you're kind of out of range where they couldn't possibly hear you, he's like, we need to go visit Jadzi. And I am not sure where she is, but I think that you somehow in your brain might. And so I want you to take us there. So pick a pool, any pool. And as soon as you walk out of a clearing, you see this.
Okay.
You see 4 pools of water. Now they are more organic than this, right? So they're kind of nestled into these 4 different spots, kind of have different foliage around them. One of them has a blue tint to it. One has kind of a swirling black and red tint to it. One is more of a sandy brown, and the other one is it's more like milky white, not clear white. And he says, where are we going? Pick a pool, any pool. Take us where we need to go.
Garrett is going to be kind of come back down from his high of confidence and arrogance in front of Sirs to his indecisive, timid, I don't want to screw things up personality. And
Gal looks at you, and when he notices that hesitation, he just cups your hands in his head, and for the first time you see this like wise mentor look in his face. He goes, you can't pick wrong. And he just looks at you, and you get this excited just look in his eyes of like, take me on an adventure, let's go.
Garrett continues to just look at Gal and just says, my favorite color is blue.
Okay. It's like, let's go. And he says, after you.
Okay. We go to the light blue.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. You both dive into this pool. And the problem is that you do not come up for air. You are underwater. And there is no discernible top to this water. You are currently holding your breath. You see a couple of things right in front of you. You see 5 pools of water that are somehow contained within the water itself, floating, and they're in 5 different colors. But between them and you is a writhing mass of water whirlpool that notices you. So you see, and again, these are not necessarily in this beautiful setup, but they are all kind of in distance of you. It would take you probably 2 moves to get to a pool of your choice. And you can choose saffron, gold, turquoise, amber, or steel. But I need you to roll initiative before we do that.
Oh boy. My initiative is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. All right. I'm going to let you go first then. Let me pull up this stat here real quick. This water, so no, the pools are, you got to pick a pool if you want to keep moving towards one or figure out, but this elemental feels malevolent.
Okay.
When you look over your... Oh, go ahead. Do you?
I was going to ask if Gal was with me.
Gal is with you, and Gal somehow has shown up in here with a full snorkel on and a completely like sparkly gold wetsuit on and flippers. His hair is still turquoise and is just floating wildly all around him. And he just looks at you. He's like,
okay. So there's this large thing in front of me. I'm still in water, like I'm swimming, correct?
You are holding your breath, so you can hold your breath a number of minutes equal to your Constitution modifier.
Okay. Garrett is in a bit of a panic, probably have never seen a creature like this before, and also just not being a confident swimmer, and is like, oh God, like we didn't land on a beach like last time, is probably just frantically swimming to get around this thing. So I think Garrett's just going to do a bunch of all movement.
Okay, so you're going to move and dash.
Move and dash.
That is going to get you halfway to somewhere. Where are you headed?
I'm trying to be as far away from this thing as possible. Is it?
You can't
can I
reach
clearly-
any pool without, like, you're going to have to make a huge, that it'll take you longer if you really want to keep a big distance between it and you. You can do that, but you can't get closer to any pool without somehow moving in that direction.
Okay. So Garrett's going to go towards the left of it to the north side, and probably at first opportunity to get into another, we'll jump in the saffron if that can be reached in one turn.
Okay, it can't be. You can't reach it in one turn, especially if you're going to make a wide berth. So you can get about halfway there this turn.
Okay.
The water elemental then is going to see you, the two of you separating, and is going to send out this pulse of water. I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Okay. Oh, damn it. My strength isn't already good, and I rolled a 2, so I'm just going to assume that fails. Yeah, minus 1, so that's a 1.
Okay.
31.
You take 14 points of bludgeoning damage, and you are flung 60 feet. No, let's see. What does it say? You're grappled. So you are swirling in this water pressure that's keeping you in a spot. So you are not thrown. You are grappled. And it is going to move a little bit closer to you. It's Gal's turn now, and you see Gal get out his cane, which you realize it's kind of become a scepter, and he's going to kind of swirl it very garishly, kind of over his head, and hit this water elemental with an ice attack, basically. And you start to see this thing freeze in space, all but kind of both of its hands as it's trying to there. And you see it's kind of like resisting it, but it is essentially itself grappled. And Gal starts swimming his way towards you. He's only going to make it about halfway as far as you went because he used his action. It's back up to you. What do you want to do? If you want to escape the grapple... you can do a spell. You can try to escape the grapple with another strength save.
Can Misty Step be used while grappled?
Yes, it can.
Okay. I would like to Misty Step out of the grapple and as close to that saffron pool as possible.
Okay. You do so. You cast this spell. Can you roll a d20 for me?
Sure. A 13.
Okay, 13. Let me see where we are going. Sorry, I have so many. I have so many tabs open. All right, you are. As soon as you dive into this saffron pool, you come out, and you come out, and you're in this pool, and it is light blue, like the one you dove in, on this side. Does that make sense? So like blue got you to the water plane, and then like you could get back to the water plane if you jumped back in type deal. As you swim to the side, you look around. You have found paradise. This place is the most picturesque and beautiful place you have ever seen. and you see about a mile away or so this massive tree. And I mean beyond like California redwood massive, like 10 times that. This massive tree that goes way up into the clouds, and you see these roots that, probably run super, super deep. About a minute or two behind you, about a minute behind you or so, not even so, seconds behind you, Gal comes out. And he's kind of walking on ground with flippers, and kind of every step he takes, all his clothes start to change. And he is now dressed in like Tommy Bahama shirt that's buttoned all the way down, unbuttoned all the way down, shorts, like very ridiculously modern beach, like resort clothes. And he looks around. His hair's kind of tied up now in a big bun on the top of his head. And he's like, excellent choice. They have some excellent drinks here, I have heard, but we are still on a schedule. Is this where we're stopping?
I think I just need a rest. I mean, I've never seen a thing like that before. I mean, it attacked us. What?
I know those water elementals. They're so temperamental. We just surprised it. It's fine. I'm sure it'll be okay. It'll thaw out in a minute, and then it won't even remember. Don't worry about it. But that's part of it. You lived your life. You made your decision. I'm so proud of you.
Oh gosh. I don't know. I'm not supposed to be here. I can't fight things like this. I don't have any powers.
What are you talking about? You just misty stepped out of its grasp. That was amazing.
Yeah, but I don't know how I do those things. It just happens. Like I'm not meant to be here. I can't fight these things. I think you got the wrong guy.
You think I wanted a guy that was the best magic user in the universe?
I know. Okay, where do we go next? What?
Well, that's up to you. Where do you want to go next? Hang on just a second. Let me find the Jeez. Okay, I made this too complicated for myself. All right, where does this one go? Okay, it goes into. Wait, that doesn't sound right. Okay, let me get to this page here. Okay. Well, I thought I had a better choice here.
Sorry, Dad, I picked the wrong one.
No, I have it in two different places, which is a terrible idea. Here's what you see. You see surrounding you a whole bunch of colored pools.
Okay.
And you're so you came out of this saffron one. Well, you see the light blue one kind of beside you. We are currently in saffron right now. Right?
Garrett's gonna look at Gal and just say, I don't want to pick anymore. I don't know what I'm doing. Why are you having me pick things?
Because it's fun. Come on.
That wasn't fun. I got attacked.
And you made it
really
out.
Hurt.
You didn't get hurt. Did you? Come here. Oh, you did. You know what? And he actually will cast Cure Wounds on you. And it's this very affectionate, like he's doing it. He's genuinely concerned for your well-being. And he brings you back up to full health. He's like,
oh, okay.
Lightfoot, this is life. You get knocked down and you get back up. You're going to get hit. You're going to get hurt. And you're going to live the adventure, but you will have lived. You will have lived.
I've been on lots of adventures, but we get out before anything bad happens, okay? Like, this isn't me. This isn't how I...
This is what makes you the perfect choice for all of this. You're going to do great. Come on. Pick another one. Let's go. Where do we go next? Come on. I'm feeling we've got to get to Jadzi. Where is Jadzi? Where is she?
Okay, let's go right in the center here. We'll jump in the amber pool.
Okay. Sounds good. As you jump in the amber pool rather reluctantly, he dives in behind you. You pop out with a saffron. You're in a saffron pool, and you look around. This is a really strange place in that you are in what feels to be a very normal kind of prairie lands outside of a city. But if you look to your right, the horizon line begins to curve up, and an almost mirror-like impossible city that is upside down above your head.
Inception.
It is very Inception. And to be clear, I did not make this up. This is actually D&D lore. So you have, and the pools that you see are going to be straight up, kind of in between the two levels of existence.
Garrett's just perpetually baffled by everything that's going on. Just like looks at Gal and like looks at the pools above and just like, how do we get to that?
He's like, Bitopia is not a bad place. We could stay here for a little while, but if we really want to find Jadzi, I'm afraid we're going to have to keep going, and I think that we're getting close. Tell me, you see a different set of colored pools pop up. He's like, where is she? What do you think? Where is she?
Okay, Garrett just like takes a deep breath again, starts to think, and is just like confidently yells, "Purple."
Okay. As you go, Gal takes your hand and casts Fly on you both. And you both begin to go up and fly. You do see, though, Nope, you fly right into the purple one. Boom. As soon as you come out of the purple pool, let me make sure, the environment has changed wildly. Where you've been in this kind of peaceful, prairie-like, city-like place, you are showing up. It is dark. Do you have dark vision, P.S.?
That's a good question.
Look at your very front page down at the left by your saving throws. It'll tell you. If it doesn't say anything, then you don't.
I do not, actually.
Okay.
It's the first character I've ever had that doesn't have dark vision.
Yep. It is dark, and you do see kind of pools of like flowing lava around. It smells like sulfur in here, and you hear all sorts of creepy crawly things. And Gal's like, "Ooh, temperature change. When you say this was an interesting choice. Purple, you say the abyss." Okay, well, I am happy to explore this a little bit longer with you, but we do have to get to Jadzi. You hear him keeping his voice down. He's like, why don't we come back here? And as soon as he does that, you see this, like this fire snake pop up right in front of you. Right behind it, you see a number of pools of all sorts of different colors, but I need you to roll initiative as I'll pull up another round of things.
14 for initiative.
14. Okay. Come on. Come on. Okay. The creature goes first and is going to take a swipe at who the bigger of the two of you, which is Gal, and is going to, as you see, he's actually come out. It's not a snake. It's a fire salamander. It is enormous, and it has a big spear in his hands. He's going to make the first hit is going to hit him for 10 points of piercing damage plus 5 points of fire damage. You see him, whoom, he gets hit pretty bad, and then the tail is going to swipe around and do even worse. Knock him to the ground with 8 points of bludgeoning damage plus 8 points of fire damage, and he is grappled by the tail of this fire snake. I will show you. It is, I didn't roll for him. Okay, it is your turn next. What would you like to do? These are the 4 pools you see behind the snake.
I am going to... None of these are bonus actions, dang it. I am going to cast command at the snake. Is that possible? Would they understand me?
That would be the key question. Do you believe it speaks a language that understands you?
Probably not. No. Garrett's going to react in fear and concern for Gal and throw a firebolt at this creature.
A firebolt at the fire snake?
Oh, right. It is a fire snake, isn't it? Sorry, never mind. Magic missile.
Okay. Magic missile always hits, so you can roll a 1d4 plus 1 for each missile.
Okay. Hold on, I've never played this spell before, so...
Yeah, magic missile is interesting because you don't have to roll an attack roll for it. It just works.
1d4 plus...
1.
Okay.
Unless you're doing it at level 2.
I was.
Okay, you get a bonus 1 at level 2, so 4... You get to roll 4 times. So roll 1d4 4 times. You get to add 1 to each of those. 1d4 plus 1 4 times.
Oh, because of the how many darts there are?
Correct. So it's 3 darts and then 1 extra dart per level above 1.
Gotcha. 13 points of damage.
13 points of damage. You see this force damage as this thing has had its sights trained on Gal. Natural 1 on its concentration check to hold Gal. So you see him drop out of this grapple. And Gal kind of collects himself, like patting out all of this kind of burning stuff all over his clothes. And he is going to kind of do the reverse, and he is going to cast another one of these kind of ice knife things. It hits and kind of explodes on the inside of it. And he looks over at you, huge smile on his face, and he's like, "You're amazing! Where are we going next?" And it is he went, then you went, so it is now its turn. It is going to look at you and make a spear attack. I think that hits 23 to hit.
Yep.
7 plus 4, 11 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And 3 points of fire damage. And then it's going to try to use its tail to attack Gal again. Natural 1, so he's able to dodge out of the way. And it is your turn. Oh, wait. Can you roll a d20 for me for your magic missile to see if
Sure.
what we get?
6.
Okay. All good. We're looking for a 1 or a 20 to see if it triggers wild magic.
Oh, that's after my roll. I thought that was on my attack roll if I roll a 1 or a 20.
Nope, it's after your attack roll. Which,
Okay,
again,
I
you
can
didn't have to do for the magic missile. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What do you want to do?
I would like to cast light down onto this fire snake.
Okay.
20-foot radius.
Do you have to
Just
touch?
bright light in a 20-foot radius. Oh, it is touch, isn't it?
Which you can
I
do
mean,
that, but you'll get burned.
me.
Hmm?
It just attacked me. Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay.
And I'm using that more as like a distraction so that I can like run around it
Okay.
to one of the pools so that Gal and I both can.
Okay. So you take 1 point of fire damage as you touch it to cast the spell, but everything just starts like it goes from that dull fireplace firelight to like this blinding light. And we'll see if it is distracting. Where are you running?
I'm running behind it, right, to
Yep.
one of the pools.
So the magenta and ruby pools would be the closest. Burgundy and olive would be just beyond them.
I'm going to run to the magenta pool.
Okay. You make it almost all the way there, but you'll probably need one more turn to get there. Gal is going to see what you're doing, and he is going to his staff is going to get massively long, and he's going to do this kind of jumping, twisting, kind of golf swing, and see if he can like nail this thing over. Oh, nope. He isn't able to hit it very hard. But he is able to at least distract it. Gal runs. You're both kind of equidistant to it. So the snake's going to get one more hit. I'm going to just do random and see who he goes after. He's going after you with the spear. Oh, natural 20 to hit. 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
And 3 points of fire damage. He's going to do another tail attack, which fails against Gal. And it is your turn.
Okay. I feel like Garrett is almost kind of like, just like I'm in my first fight and like almost that rage of like, oh, I got punched in the face, like the bad part's out of the way, like let's go. Like it wasn't that bad. Like, yeah, I'm hit, it hurts, but like now I'm like getting into like what Gal's talking about of like the adventure of it, and is going to throw a mind sliver at the snake before it jumps into the pool.
Okay. Sounds good. Now, he needs to make a save, right? Or is that an attack roll? How does Mind Sliver?
Intelligence.
Intelligence?
Disorient spike of psychic energy into the mind of one of your creatures you can see within range. Must succeed on an intelligence saving throw.
He rolled a natural 1, so it fails.
All right. So 1d6. That's just 2 points of psychic damage.
Okay.
It still made Garrett feel good.
Yep. You left it very disoriented, we'll say that. As you jump into the magenta pool, let me see, where did we go? You fall into another very dark place. It is windy here. I need you to make a DC Constitution save. DC 10 is what we're looking for.
Constitution. 16.
Okay, so you're fine. In the distance of this kind of darkish, twilighty space, kind of barren wasteland, you do see this little dome with this little house in there that has a cute white picket fence, manicured lawn, little cottage with a chimney with, smoke coming out the top. And Gal goes, "You did it! You found her! Who knew she'd be on Pandemonium of all places? Come on, let's go." And he begins taking off alongside you with towards the cottage. As soon as you get there, the cottage is it. Once you open the gate, it is like a bright, sunny blue day. It's like you can see outside it, but everything you're experiencing on the inside of it is very cozy and is not at all kind of what is going on outside there. And there is an old woman that is standing on the porch with her kind of arms clasped in front of her. She's got kind of Pacific Islander features, so like dark tanned skin, wrinkles, white hair that's kind of tied up in this cute little bun, sets of robes, a very cheerful, happy face, kind of a little plump, and she, let's see, I got to get to the right page here. She looks at you both, and she just starts to chuckle in this very kind of grandmotherly like chuckle. She's like, her whole body kind of gets into it, and she's like, "I knew that y'all were going to be here soon. I didn't know completely when, but wow, aren't you a sight for sore eyes?" And she looks at Gal and just holds her hands up. She's like, "Come to Jotsy. Come here," and Gal just kind of saunters up to her and accepts her big warm hug, kind of falling into her cute little body. She has this kind of white light that's just right in the middle, like third eye type style, and she looks at you and just has her hands clasped, and she's like, "It's so nice to finally meet you. The stars have been telling me a lot about your coming. And I had no idea I would be so lucky for you to come in. I have some snacks and some tea, and you look like you've been through it. I'm sure I can help you feel better. Please, my name is Jodsy. You are so welcome in my home."
I reach out my hand and say, "I'm Lightfoot, Garrett."
"Garrett, it's nice to meet you, Garrett. Come in. Let's get you taken care of." As you enter the home, it's this cute little cottage, sitting room, small. There's not much there, maybe one or two rooms. She has this cute little spread out, and as soon as you kind of cross the threshold, she just just wiggles her fingers a little bit. All of your clothes start stitching back together. The smell of that sulfurous, fire just kind of poofs off of you, and you just smell like your clothes have been drying on a line, just that fresh, grassy, wind-dried smell. And you start to feel, she looks at you and she's like, here, hands you some tea, and just even holding it makes you feel a little bit better. As you take a sip, all your wounds start to heal, kind of close up. She's like, "Well, Galazeth, how have you been?" And Gal looks at her and she's like, I have been good. I keep getting reports from the school that something is happening. Vicor has been warning us that there's something going on, and Shadrax is all upset, and Velomachus thinks that we all need to talk, and Belladros, she's just doesn't care about any of this stuff, and so it's okay. I just have so many places to go. And Jadzi just looks and she nods just very patiently, and she's like, "It's the nature of things, isn't it?" She looks at you. She's like, "The world keeps going whether we are in it or not. Isn't that true?
Yeah. It sure seems to.
You know, some people live their whole lives and their biggest adventure is going out to their mailbox, and you know what? I think that's okay. I'm not sure that Galazeth here would agree with me. And Gal chuckles, and she's like, oh, a life without being able to see the world. What kind of life even is that? Jadzi's like, Galazeth, you know as good as I do that there's some things that have to be worth protecting. He's like, of course you're right. Well, our young Lightfoot here is just at the beginning of his big adventures. Well, he calls them adventures, and I think he's just at the beginning. He's got so much potential, Jadzi. I can't tell you what it's like seeing him in action. He's amazing. And she kind of chuckles, and she's like, that's quite high praise from Galazeth. You know, he's been almost everywhere and seen almost everyone.
Lightfoot kind of sits up and is just like, who are you? Why am I here?
And she looks at Gal and she looks back and she's like, I don't know why you're here. I know that you are here. My name is Jadzi. I am the current reigning oracle of Strixhaven University. And I have oracles is a mantle that is passed down from generation to generation. We are given all the knowledge of magic that exists to that point in time, and then are challenged to use those abilities and that knowledge to grow and expand our knowledge out to the world. You know, I myself was a student of Prismari. You're muted.
Oh, wait, what is Prismari?
She chuckles and looks at Gal and she's like, you haven't told him anything? And Gal looks and he's like, I was getting to it. She's like, dear, Strixhaven University is made up of 5 colleges. And each of the colleges studies something unique and different about a different area of magic. And Prismari is tasked with exploring the farthest reaches of our practical and physical world and the farthest reaches of our imagination. And the students who go to Prismari and study under Prismari are encouraged to soak it all in and try to find those unexplored places, try to find those unexplored horizons, and try to dive deeper into the world of imagination, of dreams and creations and illusions and the things that exist. Because you know what? This physical world has its boundaries, but our imagination is free. It's wild. And it's something that only the very, very few ever really get to experience.
Is that here? Is
This
Prismari
is
here?
No, it's on Strixhaven University. We're in the plane of existence called Pandemonium. It is, I have to tell you, a fairly inhospitable place. I don't know how much longer that I'm going to be here. I know Rizix and I are talking about trying to explore some of the beyond, but I'm just making my tour of the various outer planes, and this is where I've just hold down for a little while. It's got a beauty to it if you take a chance to look.
Do you think they could teach me how to use my magic and how to control my magic?
Galazeth, for the first time, kind of sits up, and all of a sudden his body language is starting to look more mature, more kind of starting to match hers. And so and says, Lightfoot, control is not the end game. Yes, it's great to learn how to use magic and understand the fundamentals and learn to use these things. And yes, there's a ritual progress to it, but only the few people in existence can really tap in to the wild, uncontrollable magic. As a matter of fact, on campus, there is a whole area called the Fury Gale that's just wild magic. It's just wild magic. Arkin, Menexes, you'll remember the little child at the table. He's the one that knows it better than anybody. And if you really want to learn more about wild magic, he's the one that can show you and take you in there. Because it's one thing to get more powerful. It's another thing to be unpredictable.
I would like that. This magic has been really difficult for me, and it's put me in some bad situations, and I'm losing trust of the people around me, and I need to figure this out.
You know what? You're absolutely right. It's time. It's time for us to do this. I should have done this ages ago. He says, Jadzi, I'm going to need to speak to our dear Lightfoot alone. I want to thank you so much for your time today, and I hope that you will come to the school sometime soon and visit us all. And she's like, I always do. And she wishes you away. And she looks at you both, this kind of ancient, kind look in her eyes. And you see her I start to utter this incantation and teleport you back. And you teleport back to the Feywild. And Gal meets you there, and he says, Lightfoot, there is something that you need to know. And I want you to know that I'm sorry I haven't told you this before, but it's time now. My name is Galazeth Prismari, and I'm a dragon. I live like this, and I travel the universes and the multiverse, in just a form that's a little bit more fun. But truly, I was born one of the 5 founder dragons of Strixhaven University. And I started the School of Prismari, and along with all of my other siblings, we're about 3,000. Oh, not quite 3,000. I look good for a 2,850-year-old. But there is where we study the universe and the multiverse and going to all of these places. And, Prismari has the current reigning oracle. It's a badge of pride for us all. But I should tell you, the reason I know who you are, the reason I knew at least of your parents, is that you're my descendant. Now, the draconic magic hasn't manifested in generations, but it finally has manifested in you.
How did that happen? How?
Oh, who knows how any of this happens? That's the beautiful thing. This is unpredictable. Who knew that now? Who knew this generation was going to get this? Do you know how long it's been? This is incredible.
So, you knew about me when I was born?
Well, I heard... I've always tried to keep a line on my, bloodline, and there's probably too many of them, to be honest. Too many little visits to some paradises. But I've always kept track on some things. I've watched you from a distance, and I didn't know if you had that gift until this started manifesting recently. And to be honest, I need you to go to Strixhaven University. And it's not that I need you to. I want you to. I want you to go to Strixhaven because I want you to explore all of this that you have, all this potential that you have inside you. I'm going to make it happen. You're accepted.
I don't know if I can go as Lightfoot, though. I still don't know who I am. I still have so many more questions and things to figure out about who my parents are and where I come from and what my real name is. I don't know if I'm ready to to show everyone or be honest with everyone about that.
My parents named me Galazeth. Yeah, you be whoever you want. Our secret is safe with me. I don't care if you're Lightfoot, if you're Garrett. You choose who you are, and that name will follow. But don't make any mistake, you are a Prismari at the deepest part of your being. That magic chose you, and you're going to do great things with it.
Okay, I'm ready.
You could do this. Now, here's something that you need to know. There is some word on the street among the diviners that Jadzi is going to be assassinated.
Oh,
Yeah. And I think she knows.
well, we have to stop that.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. Here's the thing. We founders agreed a long time ago to go a little hands-off at the university. We have passed the torch. Really, the only reason that we are supposed to go there at all is to anoint the new oracle, should an oracle pass on, which is the normal way of things, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't know that Jadzi's done, and assassination is just such a poor way to go. And you also should know the professors and deans of Strixhaven are forbidden to get involved in the mundane affairs of the school. It's the only way that we can teach these extremes in magic, because nothing's off limits there. You can teach good, you can teach evil, you can teach you can teach imagination, and you can teach the real world, and you can teach growing, and you can teach dying, but the only way that we could get professional teachers is if we just all agreed that they weren't going to intervene on these things. And so I can't intervene because in the grand scheme of things, Jadzi means something. Surely you just saw this incredible woman. She's not done. She's not done doing what she needs to do. If I were to show up, it would make things so much worse. I need you to go. I need you to find some friends, and I need you to figure out where this is coming from, and if it's supposed to happen or not. I mean, that's the unpredictability of it, right? Sometimes wars, sometimes assassinations, sometimes it's supposed to happen, but sometimes it's not, and I need someone smart like you to go and see which it is.
I can try. I don't know, but I mean, this is all new to me. I don't know any of this stuff. I don't know the place. I don't know the people. I just barely know Jadzi now, but
That means
but I
no one will suspect that you're looking, and that's exactly what I need.
okay, I'm good at that.
You understand people. That's more magical than anything that you could do. Don't let go of that. I'm not going to send you empty-handed, though. I refuse to do that. I have 2 gifts that I'm going to give you to send you on your way. Okay?
Okay.
He reaches out, and he reaches his hand out to you, and it actually turns into a dragon claw. And the claw from his pointer finger touches you right in the middle of the forehead, and it traces it down kind of the side of your face and kind of down to your neck. And as you do that, silver, kind of beautiful silver tattoo kind of blossoms on your neck and your face and your neck. He says, this is going to do 2 things. This is going to protect your mind. I don't want anyone messing with you. I don't want anyone trying to tell you what to think or what to believe. This is going to make sure that you decide what you see and what you believe and if it's real. Also, Strixhaven has a unique magical phenomena at the center of campus called a snarl. And it's this tangle in the weave, and it has very cool, unpredictable powers to it, but what it does is it augments spells that are cast if they're cast close to it. This tattoo that I've just given you, if you are close enough to it and you need it, it will let you cast a wish spell. One time, and once you use it, it's gone. But if you need it, if you're desperate, go find a snarl, get close to it, and you can cast it. Okay?
Okay.
And then the last gift, and this is a lot more fun, and he starts pulling things out of his pockets. And he says, you can pick one of these 3 items to take with you as my bequeathment to you. I will text you these 3 so that you can read over them. And then once you decide, I'll work it into D&D Beyond, and you can add it to your character. Okay? You have a dream mantle that lets you do some cool stuff with dreams. You have this key that would let you basically creates like an interdimensional living space, just in space. And then you have this sandstorm dancer that will help you do some special spells or whatever. So you can kind of figure out what's most important to you and to your character. But I'll text it to you and you can let me know. Okay?
Sounds good.
Gal looks at you and he says, I want you to know that it doesn't matter. It doesn't even matter if you succeed or not in this. You are a sorcerer. And you are going to grow in your power whether you like it or not. And you are going to do incredible things. You're going to go see amazing places. You're going to meet many incredible people. And I can't wait to be there with you and to watch you. Just drop me a line every now and then and let me know if you find something amazing, okay?
Thank you, Gal.
I believe in you.
I'll do my best. Thank you.
All right. He leads you back to the silver pool, which gets you back to where you are. And we'll end our one shot here. And so the next thing will be when we start the campaign, will be your arrival at Strixhaven, and we will go from there. Sound good?
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Thanks for rolling with it. I know that was a lot of weirdness, but
That's really fun. That's really cool.
All right. Good. And if you need me if you took notes or you need me to reiterate anything or spell anything, you let me know. I can send that to you as well. Okay?
No, I think I got all the notes I need.
Great. Sounds good. All right. Until we start. Thanks, man. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.